Oh, excellent! The latest build and video are finished uploading. Time to release them for the world to see. I hope that everybody likes the latest feature. I think I'll read the comments and see what people are saying.
Where's Osana? Why isn't Osana done yet? When will you work on Osana? Osana! 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 Osana!
Oh, wow! We need to have a talk. I've already said this in my previous videos, but I'll say it again. If I put Osana into the game right now, it would not be any fun to eliminate her. It would be exactly like killing Kokona or any other random student in the game. In order for me to craft a fun and challenging experience, I need many different types of obstacles that I can use to create interesting scenarios that require the player to be clever and use strategy in order to accomplish their objective. I need things like the student council, the bullies, the delinquents, the photography club, etc. Without these students or the features associated with them, I can't arrange characters around the school in a way that creates challenging situations. I'm not going to put Osana into the game until everything I need is in place. Here's a checklist of everything that I think the game requires until I have what I need in order to make it fun to eliminate Osana. As you can see, most of this work is already done. 15 different elimination methods, 15 different personas, a multitude of different ways to interact with students, etc. But, of course, there is still some more work to be done. I wouldn't dream of putting Osana into the game until there are at least 90 students at school, students are reacting to blood, the guidance counselor has been implemented, the frame rate is more stable, the mysterious obstacle is functioning, etc. The build that contains Osana is going to be a big deal. It should be a completely accurate representation of the experience of playing the final game. That's why it's so important to get every other aspect of the game working before I implement Osana. It was a huge mistake for me to put so much emphasis on Osana in the past, because it created the false impression that Osana should be my one and only priority. My goal is to give you an excellent experience, not to give you a target to kill as soon as possible. Osana will not be my top priority until I've finished working on every other feature that is required to present you with a build that represents my vision for the final game. Imagine that Yandere Simulator is a game of chess. Senpai is your king, Yandere-chan is your queen, and Osana is the enemy king. If I put her in the game right now, it would be the most boring game of chess ever. Just like chess, there are a lot of pieces that are required in order to make it a game that's worth playing. You might feel better if you think of it this way. Because all of these things are required for Osana to be in the game, the act of working on these things counts as progress towards Osana.
Yandere-dev, Yandere-dev! If it takes 5 years to finish one rival and 9 will remain after her, does that mean it'll take 45 more years to finish the game?
Absolutely not. After the first rival has been completed, implementing all subsequent rivals will be much, much faster. I'll explain why. Over the past 50 months, 5% of my time has been spent working on Osana, and 95% has been spent on implementing the game's core mechanics. Thus, the time spent on the game's development so far does not represent how long it takes to complete a single rival. Once I've finished working on every feature that the game needs, I will switch 100% of my focus to the rivals. And that's when you'll start seeing rivals being implemented in a matter of months or weeks, not years. After fully implementing a rival once, I'll have a template that I can use for all future rivals. In other words, I can reuse a lot of the code that was used for Osana, so all future rivals can be implemented faster and more efficiently than Osana. The experience and knowledge that I gain by implementing Osana will also make all future rivals easier to work on. After Osana, I will launch a crowdfunding campaign. One of the purposes of the crowdfunding campaign is to raise enough money to hire at least one experienced, highly qualified professional programmer to work on the game full-time. This programmer could build tools that will make it easier and faster to implement rivals and events. Right now, I am juggling the responsibilities of being the game's director and producer in addition to being its only programmer. In a best-case scenario, someone else would take my place as the game's programmer, so that I could work exclusively as the game's director and producer. If we raise enough money, maybe we could hire multiple programmers who would work on multiple rivals simultaneously, so that future rivals are completed even faster. I hope that this video helps you to understand why I'm not prioritizing Osana at this point in time. Thank you for following the development of Yandere Simulator. Oh, and by the way, I actually have made progress on Osana. I'm just not showing you because I want it to be a surprise.